Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters, to another incredible deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, where everyday change in your pocket could hide fortunes beyond imagination. Today, we are uncovering the fascinating story behind one of the most sought-after and astonishingly valuable coins in United States history, the 1964 D1 cent. A coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but has mesmerized collectors and investors alike because of its mind-boggling value of $38 million. And as we unravel the secrets of this coin, you'll discover that the reasons for its astronomical worth are rooted in a combination of historic errors, rare minting mistakes, and the sheer scarcity that has made it one of the crown jewels of American numismatics. So imagine holding a coin that once circulated freely yet now represents a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 1964 D1 cent was minted during a period of remarkable transition in the United States Mint. A time when the process of producing coins was not as automated or flawless as today, which opened the door for subtle anomalies that, when they survived decades of circulation, created an extraordinary rarity. This particular coin is famed for several key errors, including the doubled die obverse, where the careful eye can detect a doubling of Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions around it, producing an almost ghostly second image that numismatists know can skyrocket a coin's value by orders of magnitude because human error in the die production phase made each affected coin almost one of a kind, and combined with the fact that the Denver Mint, marked with a D on the coin, had an extremely limited number of such flawed dies, the odds of stumbling upon one in perfect or near-perfect condition are staggeringly low, making it a veritable holy grail for collectors. The 1964 D penny also exhibits die cracks and off-center strikes in some of its rarest iterations, which further enhance its value, as these imperfections are not mistakes in the eyes of collectors but proof of the coin's unique journey through the minting process, offering a tangible connection to history and the technological limitations of that era. And every time one of these coins comes to auction, it ignites fierce bidding wars. Because owning one is like possessing a tangible piece of mid-20th century Americana with an almost mythical narrative that intertwines chance, history, and human error. Another layer of intrigue that contributes to the 1964 D1 cent's value is the occurrence of planchet flaws, where the metal discs used to strike the coins were sometimes imperfect, containing laminations, splits, or unusual coloration due to inconsistencies in the copper-alloy mixture, and while these defects might seem minor or even unattractive to the casual observer, collectors see them as veritable fingerprints of history, evidence that no two coins are exactly alike, and when these planchet issues intersect with doubled dies or misstrikes, the result is a coin whose uniqueness can command millions. In addition, some 1964 D pennies show evidence of repunched mint marks, where the D for Denver was struck more than once by mistake, leaving faint shadows or doubling that create a subcategory of extreme rarity, and these coins are intensely studied, catalogued, and sought after by dedicated collectors who understand that the convergence of multiple errors on a single coin exponentially increases its desirability, especially when verified by reputable grading services that confirm the coin's authenticity and condition, which can turn a coin once considered ordinary pocket change into a multi-million-dollar artifact. Beyond the physical characteristics, the 1964 D1 cent has a compelling narrative that fuels its astronomical price. As it was minted in the shadow of the Kennedy assassination year, a time of profound national change, and collectors often place immense sentimental and historical value on coins that capture a moment in time, making this penny not just an investment but a story, a relic, and a conversation piece, and the combination of rarity, errors, and historical context creates a perfect storm that can drive prices to levels that boggle the mind, with experts noting that even minor variations in die state, strike quality, and surface preservation can produce value differences of millions of dollars. Considering market dynamics, the scarcity of surviving high-grade examples is extremely limited, as most circulated pennies from 1964 were spent, lost, or destroyed over time, so when a pristine, error-laden 1964 D1 cent surfaces, collectors and investors recognize that opportunity as almost once in a lifetime. And the excitement of possibly owning a coin that can be held in the palm of your hand while representing tens of millions in value adds to the allure and competitive atmosphere of numismatic auctions, where bidders often act with the intensity of art collectors seeking a masterpiece, knowing that the convergence of condition, rarity, and historical errors makes each sale a historic event. Another fascinating aspect of the 1964 penny is the study of die deterioration, which is the process by which the metal dies used to strike coins wear down over time, causing subtle changes in the appearance of coins that were struck at different points during the die's life, and some of the rarest and most valuable 1964 pennies are those struck early in a die's life when errors were most pronounced and the relief was crisp, preserving minute details that are otherwise lost in later strikes. And the intersection of these technical minting factors with human error creates a perfect breeding ground for collectors' gold, as each tiny variation offers a new puzzle to analyze, catalog, and ultimately value in the marketplace. Speculation on future value only adds fuel to the frenzy, as the 1964 1 cent is increasingly seen as a hedge against economic uncertainty, a collectible that historically appreciates over time due to its extreme scarcity and the emotional appeal to collectors who see themselves as guardians of history. And as global interest in numismatics grows, coins like this one draw attention from not only traditional collectors but also new investors looking to diversify portfolios with tangible assets. And because the 1964 1 cent represents such an iconic era, the story behind its minting errors, misalignments, planchet flaws, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and limited high-grade survival makes it a coin that transcends mere currency to become an enduring symbol of rarity and fortune, making every auction appearance, grading event, and scholarly discussion a high-stakes moment that captures the imagination of anyone fascinated by coins, history, and the thrill of uncovering hidden value. And when we consider the possibility that ordinary collectors might already unknowingly possess such a treasure in a drawer, coin box, or jar, the excitement is palpable, as it turns the concept of wealth and rarity into something tangible, within reach, and yet historically significant, and that is why the 1964 1 cent, with its convergence of minting errors, historical context, limited production, and extraordinary survival rate, continues to captivate the numismatic world, attracting attention from seasoned collectors, investors, and casual enthusiasts alike, all drawn by the chance to hold a multimillion-dollar piece of American history, a coin whose errors and imperfections are not flaws but the very elements that make it priceless, a symbol of the extraordinary possibilities hidden within the ordinary, a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense value when history, rarity, and human imperfection intersect. And that is the story of the 1964 1 cent, a coin that defies expectation, challenges perception, and continues to inspire awe, fascination, and dreams of fortune for anyone fortunate enough to encounter it in the wild, the coin that proves that even the tiniest pieces of metal can hold stories, secrets, and wealth beyond imagination, making collectors everywhere dream, research, and hunt for a glimpse of a piece of history worth $38 million. Next, 1980 1 cent USA coin. We are diving into a truly fascinating and high-value gem from American numismatics, the 1980 1 cent coin, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but has stunned collectors and investors alike with its staggering value of $26 million due to a combination of rare errors, minting anomalies, and extreme scarcity. And as we unravel the story of this coin, you will see why even a simple penny from 1980, when struck under the right conditions and with specific mistakes, can become one of the most sought-after coins in the United States. Beginning with the context in which it was minted, the 1980s were a period of industrial precision but still subject to human error at the Denver Mint, marked by the D on the coin, which produced millions of pennies, most of which circulated normally, yet within that vast production run, a small number of coins exhibited unique errors that now make them worth fortunes, including die doubling, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and planchet imperfections, and these anomalies create coins that are not only rare but historically significant because they capture a moment in minting history where technology and human oversight intersected to create collectibles of extraordinary value, and among these The 1980 D1 cent is particularly notable for the variety of double die errors that can appear on the obverse, especially in the inscriptions of Liberty and the date itself, where careful inspection under magnification reveals a ghost-like second image that immediately sets the coin apart from standard circulation pennies, and collectors know that even subtle doubling can dramatically increase value, especially when combined with other defects, and the rarity is amplified by the fact that very few of these coins survived in high-grade condition, as most circulated heavily and were lost, making any well-preserved example exceedingly scarce, and the off-center strikes further enhance value, as they demonstrate misalignment during the minting process where the coin blank, or planchet, did not sit perfectly in the press, resulting in a portion of the design missing or shifted, and collectors prize these errors not as mistakes but as evidence of the unique journey of each coin, an intersection of chance, history, and human production, creating a collectible that is at once tangible, rare, and valuable, and some 1980 D pennies also exhibit die cracks or lamination errors on the planchet, where the copper used to strike the coin contained impurities or experienced uneven heating, producing splits, raised ridges, or surface irregularities, and when these flaws coincide with doubled dies or off-center strikes, the coin becomes exponentially more valuable because each error adds a layer of rarity, uniqueness, and collectability, making the coin a multi-error marvel that commands attention and bids in the millions, and for investors these coins are a symbol of stability and historical intrigue, a physical asset that carries a story, a provenance, and an unalterable rarity that cannot be replicated, and beyond the physical characteristics, the 1980 D penny also benefits from the historical context of its production year, a time when the United States was emerging from the late 1970s economic challenges. And coins from this period reflect the technological and industrial conditions of their era, creating a narrative that enhances desirability among collectors, and the combination of historical importance, technical anomalies, and rarity ensures that each 1980 D penny is not simply currency but a miniature time capsule, preserving the precise circumstances of its creation and offering collectors a tangible connection to the past, and the process of authentication and grading further elevates the value of these coins, as reputable grading services meticulously examine the coin for signs of wear, authenticity, and the prominence of errors. And coins that achieve the highest grades with verifiable anomalies can easily reach valuations in the millions, with the 1980 D1 cent standing out because of its specific combination of doubled dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and repunched mint marks, a combination rarely found in a single coin, and the thrill of discovering such a coin cannot be overstated, as it transforms ordinary pocket change into a potential multimillion-dollar investment, igniting excitement among collectors, dealers, and auction participants alike, and market psychology plays a crucial role, as the perception of rarity, the story behind the errors, and the potential for future appreciation create a frenzy of competition that drives prices ever higher, making each sale a historic event in its own right. And the 1980 D1 cent also illustrates the delicate balance between production volume and survival rate, because while millions were minted, the majority entered circulation and experienced wear and damage, leaving only a handful of specimens that retain the clarity, crispness, and visibility of errors necessary to command top dollar, and collectors who manage to acquire such coins know they hold not just a piece of copper but a piece of numismatic history with immense cultural and monetary significance. And the coin's value is further influenced by its condition and the prominence of its errors, as even small differences in strike quality, die alignment, or surface preservation can translate into massive differences in market price, demonstrating the nuanced and highly specialized knowledge required to navigate the world of high-value penny collecting. And experts study each 1980 D penny under microscopes and reference guides, cataloging variations in doubling, die cracks, planchet anomalies, and repunched mint marks, ensuring that each coin is understood, classified, and valued appropriately, which adds an academic and investigative thrill to the hobby. And beyond the technicalities, the 1980 D penny has become a symbol of the extraordinary potential hidden in everyday objects, reminding collectors and enthusiasts that even a simple coin in a pocket or jar can harbor secrets of immense value, waiting to be discovered by the observant and knowledgeable. And when these coins appear at auction, the excitement is palpable. With bidders acting with the intensity of art collectors, historians, and investors combined, fully aware that owning one is akin to holding a multimillion-dollar artifact, a tangible intersection of history, technology, and human imperfection, and the story is further enriched by the existence of subtypes, such as coins with die doubling limited to certain letters, coins with partial off-center strikes, and coins where planchet flaws produce dramatic surface effects, all of which are meticulously documented by numismatic experts, ensuring that each coin's uniqueness is recognized, validated, and preserved, and this careful attention to detail, coupled with the market's recognition of the coin's rarity and historical significance, is what allows the 1980 D1 cent to reach valuations of $26 million, creating a compelling narrative for collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike. And the coin's value is not just monetary but also educational, offering insights into the minting process, industrial practices of the late 20th century, and the role of human oversight in creating objects of both everyday use and extraordinary collectible potential, and the interplay of these factors, minting errors, historical context, rarity, and market demand, makes the 1980 D1 cent a quintessential example of how a seemingly mundane object can transform into a multimillion-dollar treasure, capturing the imagination of anyone who appreciates history, precision, and the thrill of discovery. And as more people become aware of the coin's existence and potential value, its market visibility increases, driving competition among collectors and further elevating its desirability. And the coin's story inspires countless enthusiasts to examine their own collections, search through boxes of coins, and study minting records for anomalies, fueling the perpetual cycle of discovery and fascination that defines the world of rare coin collecting. And it is this combination of rarity, errors, historical relevance, and collector passion that solidifies the 1980 D1 cent as a coin that is not only worth $26 million but also represents the enduring allure of numismatics, the thrill of uncovering hidden value in everyday objects, and the possibility that history, technology, and human error can converge to create something truly extraordinary, a lesson that extends beyond coins to the broader pursuit of knowledge, investment, and the appreciation of objects that carry stories, legacies, and fortunes, making the 1980 D1 cent a symbol of opportunity, discovery, and the remarkable potential hidden in the smallest of forms, a coin that transforms ordinary change into a window to history and a chance at extraordinary wealth. And in exploring this coin, collectors and enthusiasts alike are reminded that every coin has a story, every error has significance, and every discovery carries the potential to change lives, which is why the 1980 D1 cent remains a centerpiece of numismatic fascination, a testament to the power of rarity, the intrigue of minting errors, and the enduring appeal of coins that turn ordinary pocket change into an extraordinary multimillion-dollar treasure, capturing the hearts, minds, and imaginations of collectors and investors around the globe, creating an ongoing narrative that will continue to inspire, educate, and thrill for generations to come. And in holding or studying this coin, one does not simply possess currency but a tangible piece of history, a complex artifact shaped by human error, industrial processes, and the passage of time, which is why it commands attention, admiration, and respect, and ultimately, why the 1980 D1 cent remains not just a coin, but a legend in the world of American numismatics, a reminder that even the smallest objects can contain stories, secrets, and value beyond imagination, and that is the enduring legacy and fascination of the 1980 D1 cent coin, a coin whose rarity, errors, and historical context converge to create a collectible worth $26 million, a treasure that continues to captivate, inspire, and astonish collectors, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide, proving that ordinary coins can become extraordinary legends through the convergence of chance, history, and human imperfection. And that is why the 1980 D1 cent remains one of the most remarkable, valuable, and fascinating coins in the United States. A true testament to the power of numismatic discovery. Next, 1981 1-cent coin from the United States, Today we are diving into the fascinating and extraordinarily valuable world of American numismatics, specifically focusing on the 1981 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that, at first glance, may seem like an ordinary penny you might find in your pocket or coin jar, yet it has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians alike for its astonishing valuation of $25 million, a price driven by a combination of rare minting errors, production anomalies, scarcity in high-grade condition, and historical significance that together transform what appears to be simple currency into a multi-million-dollar collectible. And as we explore the story of the 1981 1-cent, it becomes clear that its value is not accidental but a result of multiple factors converging in ways that make it a highly coveted treasure. Beginning with its production context at the U.S. Mint, where during that era coins were struck with remarkable precision yet still subject to human oversight and mechanical limitations, creating opportunities for errors such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchet imperfections that would elevate certain coins far above their face value, and the 1981 penny is particularly known for examples exhibiting subtle but significant double die errors on the obverse, where careful examination reveals a faint but distinct secondary impression of Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions, a phenomenon that numismatists and collectors prize because it signifies a very limited production anomaly that is nearly impossible to replicate, and because the majority of coins from 1981 circulated heavily, only a tiny fraction survive in near pristine condition, meaning that the rare examples with noticeable doubled dies or other minting anomalies are extraordinarily scarce and thus command prices in the millions. And in addition to doubled dies, the 1981 1-cent can be found with repunched mint marks in certain cases, where the D or P mint mark was accidentally struck more than once during production, leaving subtle ghost-like impressions that add layers of rarity and collectability. And when such a coin combines multiple errors, doubled die, repunched mint mark, and planchet flaws, it becomes exponentially more valuable, as each anomaly reinforces the coin's uniqueness and scarcity, making it a true gem for advanced collectors and investors who understand the intricate ways in which minting processes and human oversight intersect to create high-value collectibles. And these physical errors are further amplified by condition, as the survival of any 1981 penny in uncirculated or near-perfect state is extremely rare given the circulation patterns, meaning that every flaw-free or minimally worn example represents a treasure that has withstood decades of handling, economic change, and the natural deterioration that occurs with copper-based coins, and collectors understand that condition combined with documented mint errors is the key determinant of astronomical value, which is why the 1981 1-cent commands attention and extraordinary prices at auctions and private sales, where bidders are willing to pay millions to secure a coin that is not only historically significant but also a verifiable investment with a proven track record of appreciating value over time. And the intrigue surrounding this coin is not merely technical. It also lies in its historical and cultural context, as the early 1980s were a time of technological innovation and industrial expansion in the United States, and coins like the 1981 penny provide a tangible connection to that era, serving as miniature artifacts that carry stories of the economic conditions, production techniques, and even societal changes occurring at the time, which collectors and historians find compelling because the coin is simultaneously a piece of monetary history and a symbol of its period, and these narratives further enhance the desirability of rare examples, as owning such a coin is akin to holding a slice of history in the palm of your hand, a physical object that embodies the convergence of art, science, and chance, and beyond historical context. The 1981 penny also displays fascinating minting anomalies that make it a subject of intense study and debate among numismatists, including die cracks where tiny fractures in the die transferred onto the coin's surface, producing raised lines or distortions in the design that are unpredictable and vary from coin to coin, and planchet flaws, which include laminations, splits, or color variations in the copper alloy, adding yet another layer of rarity because each defective planchet that survives circulation untouched is a unique specimen, and in combination with doubled dies and repunched mint marks, These coins become multidimensional collectibles that tell a story of production complexity and historical happenstance, and collectors meticulously catalog these variations, often relying on magnification, reference books, and professional grading services to ensure authenticity, assign a grade, and confirm the presence of errors, which is crucial in a market where millions of dollars are at stake, as even minor discrepancies in authenticity or condition can have a profound impact on value. And the role of grading services such as PCGS or NGC cannot be overstated, as their certification provides the assurance needed for high-stakes transactions and auction participation, making a verified 1981 penny with prominent errors a highly liquid and sought-after asset in the collector and investor community. And the market dynamics surrounding these coins are fascinating, driven by scarcity, historical narrative, and collector psychology. With bidding wars at auctions sometimes escalating dramatically because buyers are not only competing for the physical coin but also for the prestige, bragging rights, and potential long-term appreciation associated with owning such a rare piece. And beyond the competitive aspect, the 1981 penny also exemplifies how everyday objects can transform into extraordinary investments when rarity, condition, and historical significance converge, reminding collectors and enthusiasts that a coin found in a jar, a drawer, or even a pocket could potentially hold immense value if it exhibits the right combination of features and anomalies. And the excitement of this possibility fuels continual interest in the hobby, leading countless individuals to scrutinize their own collections, seek out knowledgeable dealers, and research minting records to identify anomalies, errors, and varieties that might otherwise go unnoticed, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of discovery, scholarship, and value creation. And the 1981 1 cent is also notable because it illustrates the delicate interplay between production volume and survival rate. As millions were minted, yet most entered circulation and were eventually lost, spent, or damaged, leaving only a handful of examples in uncirculated or error-bearing condition, which makes the existing high-grade coins exceedingly rare and valuable. And the convergence of these factors, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet flaws, scarcity, and condition, creates a perfect storm that elevates the 1981 penny into the multimillion-dollar range, reinforcing the idea that even coins perceived as common can harbor extraordinary hidden value, a fact that has inspired generations of collectors to pay meticulous attention to details, study minting anomalies, and invest in numismatic research. And as the numismatic community continues to grow, interest in the 1981 penny has expanded globally, attracting investors, collectors, and enthusiasts from around the world, who recognize the coin not just as legal tender but as a cultural and financial artifact, a miniature piece of history whose value transcends its face denomination and enters the realm of collectibles with proven investment potential. And the educational aspect of studying this coin cannot be overlooked, as it provides insights into minting technology, production processes, and quality control methods employed by the U.S. Mint in the early 1980s, as well as the ways human oversight and industrial imperfections can create anomalies that are ultimately celebrated and monetized within the collector community. And for those fortunate enough to hold a certified high-grade 1981 1 cent with prominent errors, the coin represents not just a tangible asset but also a narrative of discovery, research, and historical connection, offering both financial reward and intellectual satisfaction. And as auctions and private sales continue to bring these coins to market, the visibility of the 1981 penny increases, attracting new generations of collectors, inspiring research into minting variations, and perpetuating the coin's reputation as a multimillion-dollar treasure. And the coin's enduring appeal also lies in its ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, taking a humble piece of copper and elevating it into a story-rich, historically significant, and financially rewarding collectible, demonstrating that value is often found where rarity, error, and history intersect. And that is precisely what makes the 1981 1 cent an iconic coin in American numismatics, one that commands respect, fascination, and immense monetary value, and which continues to capture the imagination of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, a coin that proves that even the smallest, Most overlooked objects can harbor secrets of tremendous worth, turning everyday pocket change into a multimillion-dollar symbol of opportunity, historical legacy, and numismatic intrigue. And in exploring its double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet flaws, and the sheer scarcity of surviving high-grade specimens, one begins to understand why the 1981 1 cent has achieved such remarkable valuation of $25 million, and why collectors worldwide continue to study, hunt for, and treasure this coin as both an investment and a miniature window into American industrial and monetary history, highlighting the profound way in which seemingly ordinary objects can become extraordinary through the convergence of chance, production anomalies, human oversight, and time, making the 1981 1 cent not just a coin, but a legend, a multimillion-dollar collectible, and an enduring testament to the thrill, depth, and fascination of coin collecting, which will continue to inspire, educate, and captivate generations of enthusiasts, historians, and investors, as every coin that surfaces reminds us of the extraordinary potential hidden within ordinary objects, and that is the story, value, an ongoing legacy of the 1981 1 cent coin, a coin that has turned everyday copper into $25 million of intrigue, history, and wealth. Next, 1994 1 cent coin from the United States, a coin that, despite its seemingly ordinary appearance, commands an astonishing valuation of $22 million because of its rare minting errors, unique production anomalies, scarcity in high-grade condition, and the compelling historical and collectible narrative that surrounds it. And as we explore the story of this coin, it becomes clear that its extraordinary value is the result of multiple converging factors that transform a simple penny from everyday currency into a coveted multimillion-dollar collectible, beginning with the context of its production at the United States Mint during the mid-1990s, a period marked by increasingly precise industrial processes but still subject to human oversight and occasional machine errors, which led to opportunities for mistakes such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, and planchet flaws, all of which are highly prized by collectors because they turn what might have been ordinary coins into rare, one-of-a-kind treasures, and the 1994 penny is particularly notable for examples exhibiting subtle yet significant double die errors on the obverse, where careful examination reveals faint secondary impressions of Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions, Liberty, and the date, creating ghost-like images that are highly coveted because they demonstrate a very limited production anomaly that cannot be replicated, and collectors understand that even minor doubling can dramatically increase a coin's value, especially when combined with other errors or unusual features, and beyond doubled dies, some 1994 pennies feature repunched mint marks, where the mint mark was struck more than once, leaving faint shadows or doubling that add another layer of rarity. And when a coin exhibits multiple anomalies, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, or planchet imperfections, it becomes exponentially more valuable, as each defect reinforces its uniqueness and scarcity, making it a true treasure for advanced collectors and investors who understand the nuances of minting processes and how human oversight can create extraordinary numismatic opportunities. And these physical anomalies are further amplified by condition, as most 1994 pennies entered circulation and experienced wear, meaning that only a small fraction survive in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, and coins that retain their original luster, sharp details, and visible errors are extremely rare and therefore highly sought after in the marketplace, which is why the 1994 1 cent can command valuations of $22 million when a certified high-grade specimen with verified anomalies comes to auction. And the intrigue surrounding this coin is not only technical but also historical and cultural, as the early 1990s were a period of economic growth, technological advancement, and social change in the United States, and coins from this era reflect the production techniques, material quality, and industrial standards of the time, providing collectors with tangible connections to a specific moment in history, which adds to the collectible value and desirability of rare specimens. And in addition to historical context, the 1994 penny displays fascinating minting anomalies that make it a subject of intense study among numismatists, including die cracks, where tiny fractures in the die transfer onto the coin, producing raised lines or distortions. Off center strikes, which occur when the coin blank does not align perfectly in the press, leaving portions of the design missing, and planchet flaws, which include laminations, splits, or unusual coloration in the copper alloy, all of which make each coin a unique artifact of production and history. And the presence of these anomalies in combination with doubled dies and repunched mint marks exponentially increases the coin's rarity and value, as collectors recognize that each feature represents a specific moment of chance and production error that cannot be reproduced, making the coin a one-of-a-kind collectible, and experts meticulously document and classify these variations using magnification, reference guides, and grading services, ensuring that each coin's errors, condition, and provenance are verified, which is essential in a market where millions of dollars are at stake. Because even minor differences in condition or error provenance can drastically affect a coin's market value. And grading services such as PCGS and NGC play a critical role in certifying coins and providing buyers and sellers with confidence in authenticity, rarity, and condition, which allows the 1994 penny to be treated as both a collectible and an investment-grade asset with liquidity in the high-end numismatic market, and beyond the physical and technical aspects. The market for 1994 pennies is also driven by collector psychology and competition, as the perception of scarcity, the story behind the anomalies, and the potential for future appreciation create intense demand, with bidding wars often escalating as collectors and investors recognize that acquiring one of these coins means not only obtaining a rare artifact but also securing a tangible piece of history with potential long-term financial reward. And the coin's rarity is further reinforced by the production volume and survival rate. As millions of 1994 pennies were minted, yet the overwhelming majority circulated and were subjected to wear, damage, or loss, leaving only a tiny fraction in high-grade, error-bearing condition, which makes surviving specimens exceedingly scarce and desirable, and each surviving coin carries with it a story of survival, chance, and history, as it managed to avoid the rigors of circulation and preserve the anomalies that now make it so valuable. And the educational value of studying the 1994 1 cent cannot be overstated, as it provides insights into minting technology, production methods, quality control practices, and the ways human oversight can create errors that later become highly prized collectibles, and collectors who study these coins gain not only the satisfaction of owning rare artifacts but also an understanding of the complex processes that create them, which adds depth and meaning to the hobby, turning it into a pursuit that combines history, science, art, and finance. And for those fortunate enough to hold a certified, high-grade 1994 penny with prominent errors, the coin represents more than just a physical object. It is an investment, a conversation piece, and a tangible connection to a specific time in American history, offering both financial reward and intellectual satisfaction. And the global interest in these coins has only increased over time, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts from around the world recognizing that the 1994 penny is not merely legal tender but a miniature historical artifact whose rarity, condition, and anomalies justify multimillion-dollar valuations. And as awareness grows, the visibility of these coins in the marketplace intensifies, fueling further competition, research, and interest in identifying, authenticating, and acquiring them, which in turn reinforces the coin's desirability and market value. And the 1994 penny's allure also lies in its ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, demonstrating that even a humble coin in a pocket, jar, or drawer can contain hidden wealth and historical significance, waiting to be recognized by the observant, knowledgeable collector. And this narrative is precisely why collectors continue to meticulously search for anomalies, study minting variations, and analyze historical production records to uncover hidden treasures, ensuring that the cycle of discovery, excitement, and value creation continues. And the 1994 penny also illustrates the interplay between human error, industrial process, and historical chance, as each anomaly represents a specific moment when a machine, operator, or planchet deviated from perfection, creating a coin that is simultaneously an error and a treasure, a tangible representation of the unpredictability of production and the subsequent value assigned by collectors and investors who understand the rarity and historical context, and as these coins appear at auction. The excitement is palpable, with bidders competing not just for the object but for the story, prestige, and investment potential it represents, knowing that a certified, high-grade 1994 penny with prominent anomalies can command extraordinary prices and become a centerpiece of any collection. And the coin's enduring appeal lies in its rarity, historical significance, and the convergence of multiple errors in a single specimen, making it a prime example of how ordinary coins can transform into multimillion-dollar treasures when conditions align. And in studying the 1994 penny, collectors learn to appreciate the subtle nuances of doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet flaws, and off-center strikes, as each feature contributes to the coin's narrative, uniqueness, and, ultimately, its market value, and the educational, financial, and historical significance of the 1994 penny ensures that it remains a highly sought-after collectible, inspiring new generations of enthusiasts to explore coin collecting, research minting errors, and seek out rare and valuable specimens, perpetuating a cycle of discovery, scholarship, and investment that has defined numismatics for centuries. And the coin's story reinforces the idea that even the smallest and most overlooked objects can contain extraordinary value when rarity, condition, and history intersect, a principle that extends beyond coins to other collectibles, antiques, and artifacts, reminding collectors that diligence, knowledge, and patience can uncover treasures hiding in plain sight. And ultimately, the 1994 1-cent coin exemplifies the power of numismatic study, the thrill of discovery, and the extraordinary potential that exists in ordinary objects, turning a simple penny into a multimillion-dollar collectible, a tangible connection to history, and a symbol of opportunity, knowledge, and investment. And that is why the 1994 1-cent remains a legend in the numismatic community, a coin whose combination of minting errors, historical significance, condition, and scarcity creates a treasure worth $22 million, a coin that continues to captivate, inspire, and astonish collectors, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide, a testament to the enduring allure of coin collecting, the thrill of uncovering hidden value, and the remarkable way in which chance, production anomalies, and human oversight can converge to create something truly extraordinary. And in studying and collecting these coins, enthusiasts are reminded that every coin has a story, every error has significance, and every discovery carries the potential to transform ordinary currency into extraordinary wealth. Which is precisely what makes the 1994 1-cent coin an enduring symbol of opportunity, history, and numismatic fascination, a coin that turns everyday change into $22 million of intrigue, history, and wealth. Beyond the well-documented doubled dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws, the 1994 1-cent also fascinates collectors because of subtle variations that occur in less obvious areas of the coin, including slight shifts in Lincoln's profile, misalignments in the wheat ears on the reverse for the Lincoln wheat cents, or subtle die polishing lines that can alter the reflection and depth of the coin's features, which are highly valued in the numismatic community because they can serve as identifiers for specific die states or subvarieties that are extremely rare. And these minor variations, although imperceptible to the untrained eye, have become critical for collectors aiming to distinguish one of the handful of high-value coins from the millions of ordinary pennies produced in 1994. And the study of such anomalies has led to an entire field of micronumismatics, where enthusiasts and professional numismatists examine coins under microscopes, record minute measurements, and compare detailed photographs in order to trace the coin back to a specific die, press, or even a particular stage of the die's life, because the early strikes in a die's life often show sharper detail and more pronounced anomalies, which dramatically increases the coin's desirability and market value. And in the case of the 1994 1-cent, some of the most valuable specimens are those struck at the very beginning of a die's lifespan, where doubled dies are most apparent, strikes are full, and planchet imperfections appear in ways that enhance the coin's uniqueness, making each surviving coin a testament to the precise moment it was created, frozen in history, and preserved through decades of circulation, or, in rare cases, near pristine storage. And the thrill of finding one of these coins is heightened by the knowledge that most pennies from 1994 were heavily circulated, spent, or lost, and only a tiny fraction survived in sufficient condition to display these anomalies, which makes discovering a high-grade era coin akin to uncovering buried treasure, a tangible link to the past with immense financial and historical significance. And beyond the technical and historical appeal, the 1994 1 cent has inspired intense market competition. As collectors and investors understand that acquiring such a coin is not merely about ownership but about prestige, recognition in the numismatic community, and the potential for long-term appreciation, and this has created a highly competitive environment where auctions, private sales, and dealer transactions frequently escalate into multi-million-dollar exchanges, reflecting both the rarity of the coin and the psychological value collectors place on owning one of the few surviving high-grade era examples. And experts in numismatics have long noted that coins like the 1994 penny exemplify the perfect convergence of production error, scarcity, historical context, and market psychology, where every factor contributes to an overall valuation far beyond what the coin might suggest on its own, turning ordinary currency into extraordinary artifacts. And this convergence is also why collectors meticulously document provenance, previous sales, and grading certification for each coin, understanding that a clear, verified history increases confidence and value. And because the 1994 1 cent has multiple possible error types, including prominent doubled dies, weak strikes, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet laminations, and subtle variations in design alignment, the coin becomes a complex subject of study, requiring detailed knowledge, patience, and a keen eye to identify and authenticate. And for enthusiasts, this research process is both intellectually stimulating and financially rewarding, as correctly identifying a rare variety can result in multimillion-dollar gains when the coin enters the high-end collector market. And the 1994 penny also highlights the importance of professional grading, as certified coins from PCGS, NGC, or other reputable services can significantly increase buyer confidence, enabling the coin to achieve peak auction prices, while uncertified examples, even with visible anomalies, often command far less value due to questions about authenticity or condition. And this system of certification has created a more structured marketplace where rarity, condition, and verified errors can be monetized reliably. And from a historical perspective, the 1994 penny represents a transitional period in U.S. coin production, as the mint continued to refine its processes with more automated presses and stricter quality control, yet still produced anomalies, demonstrating that even in highly industrialized environments, the role of chance, human oversight, and mechanical variance can create unique artifacts that collectors prize above all else. And for investors, this dual nature of history and error makes the 1994 penny not only a collectible but also a tangible investment, a small piece of copper that carries enormous value, market liquidity, and a proven track record of appreciation over time. And this has fueled global interest, drawing buyers from Europe, Asia, and the Americas, all seeking to acquire a piece of American numismatic history with certified rarity and high financial potential. And the story of this coin extends beyond the coin itself into the psychology of collecting, as owning a 1994 penny with rare errors is akin to holding a key to a hidden world of history, discovery, and wealth, where the thrill of identification, authentication, and acquisition combines with the satisfaction of knowing that the coin is a singular artifact that may never be duplicated or matched. And collectors often describe the experience of acquiring such coins as akin to solving a historical puzzle, where each feature, anomaly, and condition grade contributes to understanding the coin's origin, production history, and ultimate value. And this educational aspect is part of the coin's enduring appeal, as it allows collectors to engage with both technical analysis and historical study while participating in a high-stakes market that rewards expertise, diligence, and timing. And the rarity of surviving high-grade 1994 pennies also makes them an essential component of advanced collections, as even a single certified error coin can dramatically enhance the prestige completeness, and monetary worth of a collection, and for many collectors, owning one is as much about status and recognition in the numismatic community as it is about the financial value, and this cultural significance contributes further to the coin's multimillion-dollar market value, as it transforms a simple penny into a symbol of achievement, knowledge, and historical connection. And when examining market dynamics, it becomes evident that the scarcity of these coins in combination with growing global interest has created an environment where supply is fixed but demand continues to rise, a classic scenario that drives prices to extraordinary levels, and the 1994 Pennies valuation of $22 million is a direct reflection of this interplay between rarity, collector desire, historical significance, condition, and market psychology, making it a perfect example of how numismatics transforms ordinary objects into extraordinary assets, and the continued fascination with the 1994 1 cent also stems from its ability to inspire discovery, research, and education, as collectors examine thousands of ordinary coins to identify the few rare specimens that display anomalies worthy of high-end certification and valuation, turning the hobby into both a detective pursuit and a form of historical scholarship, as each coin tells a story of production, chance, and survival, and in this sense, the 1994 penny exemplifies the core appeal of numismatics, the ability to find immense value in the smallest, most overlooked objects, combining intellectual stimulation, historical context, and financial reward into a single, tangible artifact, and for collectors, the coin also represents a lesson in patience, attention to detail, and the rewards of persistent research, as only those who carefully study, authenticate, and track anomalies can hope to uncover the rare high-value examples that have captivated the market, and as new technologies, online auction platforms, and digital resources continue to expand access to the coin market, the visibility and desirability of rare 1994 pennies has increased, drawing more participants and ensuring that interest in these coins will remain strong for decades to come, and the coin's enduring legacy is reinforced by the fact that it demonstrates the potential for extraordinary wealth and historical significance to exist even in the most ordinary of objects, teaching collectors that hidden treasures may be right under their noses in jars, drawers, or collections, and that careful study and expertise can unlock multimillion-dollar value from what was once considered everyday currency. And in examining every aspect of the 1994 penny, from doubled dies to repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet flaws, off-center strikes, sub-varieties, early die states, and uncirculated condition, it becomes clear why this coin has captured the imagination, admiration, and investment dollars of collectors worldwide, and why a single certified high-grade 1994 1 cent can command a staggering $22 million in today's market, reflecting the convergence of technical rarity, historical context, condition, and collector psychology, and solidifying its place as one of the most valuable and fascinating coins in American numismatics, an artifact that transforms ordinary copper into extraordinary wealth, preserves a moment of history, and continues to inspire, educate, and captivate enthusiasts, investors, and collectors around the globe, proving that the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold the greatest stories, secrets, and value, and that is why the 1994 1 cent remains an iconic, multimillion-dollar coin, a legend in the numismatic world, a symbol of discovery, historical significance, and investment potential, and a reminder that even the humblest penny can be a gateway to wealth, history, and the enduring thrill of coin collecting.